Yes guys, what is up? Hope everybody is keeping well and welcome back to the channel. Game week 25, obviously the big news next week with the double game week announced for Arsenal and Wolves. So we're going to be setting ourselves up for the double game week, and more importantly, well, alongside the FPL deadline, the League of Ireland is back tonight. I'm repping the Galway United jersey. I'm going to have to rush over to Eamon DC Park right after this stream and get some content for Galway for the first game week of the season. Hope everybody is keeping well. Do let us know where you're watching from in the world. Do drop your questions in the comments there. Great to see another Galway man, Robert Maloney, in the chat. Rob, hope all is well, man. FPL Vortex and Saw Doctor. FPL Vortex is saying good morning, and of course we've got William, one of the members of the channel. William, great to see you. First off, shout out to the boss as well for letting me work an hour early to get a stream done this evening then as well. So that's why I'm streaming 2 hours before the deadline. Was up early working this morning, and that's why I'm live and direct right here, right now. So get the likes going on stream if you can at all. The channel, as I said always, is great growing. Is growing great throughout this season. So if you are watching and you haven't subscribed, I see with 20 viewers, which is great to see already. Head on down there, give the stream a like, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Let me know as well what you make of the new Galway United jersey. I'm a fan of it, at least. The way one is nice also. Maybe I'm a wee bit biased though. But anyway, I'm going to get into my own team selection for this evening's deadline in a couple of minutes. We're going to take a quick look back at our Gameweek 24 review. 80 points of the week. Brilliant week for the team. We had a couple of bad game weeks up before this. Back up at 53k overall. Bruno Fernandes at the armband outscored Haaland by 5 points. Late assist at the end for Bruno Fernandes. I got him +5. We're getting him 2 bonus points then as well. So great to see Bruno getting a double-digit return from the armband. The patience in Ekatike paid off. 2 goals in that first half against Newcastle. Said in my video during the week, I was hopping into the barbers right before the stream. Saka was named in the starting 11. Half time, saw Arsenal were winning 1-0. I was hopeful Saka got something. Only to see Madueke's name on SofaScore getting an assist. But Estevez subbed in at least 3 points better than 1 or nothing, to be fair. So bench was very shaky, to be fair. But I've made a few transfers this week to give me an extra boost and get a bit more depth into the squad then as well. So we'll chat about my team as we go through this. But yeah, we're up to 53k overall. Obviously at Christmas we were at 13k, but we're building back towards that then as well. And yeah, that's how we fared out last week. Before we hop back into my team, my man here, Mukalele, an assist and clean sheet. Very unlucky not to score then as well in that Monday night game. I did sit through it then as well, but these are the things that have to be done. But yeah, it was good to see him come away with a return. It was well worth tuning into that game. I don't think my girlfriend will say the same, but look, here we go. Anyway, the chats are flying in here. William, here we go. Evening all, nice green hour last week. Let's lock in another, definitely. FPL Vortex, let's get you going straight here. Hi mate, love your content, appreciate that, man, great to hear. Quick one, who should have benched from this team? Verbruggen, Dubravka, Gabriel, Thiaw, Rodon, Richards, O'Reilly, Wilson, Anderson, Bruno Fernandes, Enzo, Rice, Ekatike, Haaland, Thiago. Right, so Ekatike, Haaland and Thiago are fine up front, so then I'm assuming you're going to look towards benching Anderson of Nottingham Forest. Start Wilson for the chance of an attacking return. I know Anderson has been taken away nicely with the DEFCON. He got 7 last week. I do think Wilson gets something against Everton. I've got Fulham in my last man standing, so I'm predicting Fulham to get a result there then as well. At least a goal anyway. Fulham are decent at home, and 1 clean sheet for Everton in their last 5 games. That's why I'd say stick with Wilson over Anderson. If that's alright, Vortex, good man. Fat Neek in the chat, good morning mate, hope you're doing well, hope all is well man, and good morning. Saw Doctor, heading to Derry to watch James McLean first game back on home soil. Very fair, Saw Doctor 1998, enjoy the trip up. I can see the Shamrock Rovers game was postponed today, so the Derry game is actually going to be on TV if you want to save yourself the hassle of that trip, but it's on TV anyway, in case you didn't know that, but I'm sure you're on the road at this stage anyway. Good man. Frank Golding, start Rodon or Krupi Jr. Aston Villa have a couple of injuries, so get him in the team there then as well. Abbas, hey bro, good day. I have the exact same team as yours except for Chalobah. Should I make a transfer for Dorgu? 5.1 million in the bank, or play Mukalele, Esteve instead of the latter? Then who to play? Yeah, I think I told you on the YouTube video this week to bring in LaCroix if you want to go Crystal Palace. If not, you can easily save the free transfer. I wouldn't go near the rest of the Chelsea defence, to be fair, with that rotation risk. Even Chalobah isn't really nailed, to be fair. Mukiele, you could nearly expect some defcon in that game from Mukiele, so why not start him? He's been returning very well over the last couple of weeks or so. So yeah, bring in Mukiele, sub him in instead of Esteve. I'm not confident of a West or a Burnley clean sheet. I can see West Ham scoring in that game, so get it Mukiele in over Esteve. You could go elsewhere. You could even start a save with the fact that you probably think more chance of Burnley keeping a clean sheet against West Ham. But I think, get Mukiele in. That's what I'll be saying there. Marcus Alexander. Aye, good evening, Niall. Hope all is well, Marcus. Good to see you. Paul Beats in the chat then as well. Thinking about benching Semenyo for João Pedro. Am I crazy? Any chance you can start Semenyo then as well, Paul Beats? João Pedro obviously has that Wolves game, so why not start the two if you can, but send in the rest of your teams there if we can at all. Good man, good stuff. Right, how are we looking here on stream? 20 to 5, plenty of time to go until the deadline as well. We're on 11 likes, 30 people watching us. Let's try and get a few more likes on the stream if you wouldn't mind. And if you are watching and you haven't subscribed, head on down there please. Click subscribe on the channel. As I said, I worked early this morning, made an arrangement with my boss so I could head off early, so that's why we're streaming now before the deadline. So I hope you do appreciate the effort to get these streams done. I'm actually heading to Dublin next week with TikTok, so I'm going to do very well to get a stream done. I'm not sure if I will get a stream done on Tuesday evening, but I'm going to try my best. I'm going to bring everything to Dublin with me. I might have to sneak off out of their office and try and get a stream done. We'll see how we go. Abbas, yeah, probably just playing ukulele there. Ahmed, do you think it's worth a -4 to swap Saka to Rice? If you have no other cover on your bench, just get the transfer done. You'll want Rice for the double game week anyway, so I'd say go for it there. MCMXC Russ, Enzo Star, Fernandez, and Mbeumo Anderson. Sell one for Rice, please. I don't think I'd sell any of them. Anderson maybe if you have the funds. Sarah on penalties for Crystal Palace, Bruno and Mbeumo, Enzo. I'd be wanting them in my team. I have a couple of them. I don't have Mbeumo. Could have went Mbeumo over Rice. Sorry, I didn't go with that. I went Rice instead for the double gaming. So yeah, that's what we're looking at. Right, William, I can see you've just texted into the Discord. Let's have a look at what we're saying here. Where are you, William? 2 free transfers and 0.1 million in the bank. Any thoughts? Saka. There we go, easy as. Saka to Rice, and you could probably even do Esteve to Chalobah if you wanted and play him over Keane or Hall. Maybe go with that, yeah. Probably would go with that. How are Newcastle's fixtures thereafter if we're looking for Newcastle clean sheets for the rest of the season? Who did I have during the week? Spurs, not ideal. City, probably would time to move them on there. Everton then as well. Probably do Hall to Chalobah, save yourself some money there. Keep Esteve on the bench, and get that locked in. William, good man, you're doing very well this season. Good stuff. Right, a few new subs on the channel, which is great to see as always. Ruig, yo, what's up? Hope all is well, man. Leo Brindle, who the bench out of Rodgers and Wilson? Send me the rest of the team, Leo. I think you're on the Patreon. You're on the Patreon. Let's have a look, Leo. I'm sure you've sent it in here somewhere. Let me know the team, Leo, because I haven't got back to the majority of lads and ladies in the Patreon yet, but I will have to get back to them. But out of those, I try and play the two if you can at all. Well, let me know. Could we get your top 3 captaincy options for this week, Niall? Of course you can. Marcus Alexander, Bruno Fernandes first, João Pedro probably number 2, and Haaland in number 3. Do you know what? On the basis of captaincies, let's get a poll going here. Game week. My transfer out, Thiaw for Hall. Paul Beats. While I'm putting up this poll, I wouldn't do that. Can you afford Chalobah? Maybe that's what we're going for there. Gameweek25 captaincy poll. Let's get this going, and let's see what the audience is saying here. Bruno. Do you know what? We'll even throw in a cheeky Gabriel then as well. JP. Just as I'm putting that, Jono is saying Gabriel captain. Not this week. Next week. Next week I might up that Gabriel captaincy. Right, Haaland. Can't even type Haaland. Mike's in the way. There we go. Right. Let me know what you're thinking there. My transfer out, Thiaw for Hall, Paul. Send in your team there if you haven't done so already. The other day I said on Insta Timber wasn't training for Arsenal. It is true there, Sean Ostrich, but Timber is okay. Is what Arteta said today. But he wasn't in training. So that I'm assuming means he's managing him during the week then as well. Right, Paul, here we go. Here's your team. Thiaw, you've got Semenyo on the bench. instead of probably have to bench him there. Bruno Fernandes, Wilson, Rice, Enzo, Thiago. Who can you go there as your third defender? Don't bother with Virgil van Dijk. Anyway, Thiago for Hall. I wouldn't even go that route. No, definitely not. Another defender. Who could you go for? Looking here now. If you can get to Munoz, Paul, let us know. I'd probably go Munoz if you can. Some good fixtures for Crystal Palace up the next while. If you can afford a Hall, maybe you can afford Munoz. But let me know how much you have in the bank there. Thinking about benching Semenyo for João Pedro. Looking at your team there, Paul, you probably have to. Not ideal, but I'm expecting goals in that Liverpool game, but I do think Harry Wilson does well against Everton. Everton haven't been that great defensively over the last 5 or 6 weeks or so. Anyway, Enzo, sell one for Rice, please. Yeah, if you can sell Anderson for that. Who to bench out of Rodgers and Wilson, Leo. If you can start the 2, send in the rest of your team there if you can. Noel, Verbruggen, Timber, Gabriel, Chalobah, Fernandes, Rice, Rodgers, Enzo, Wilson, Hallen, Krupi Jr., Senesi, Konsa, Dubravka. 2 transfers, any suggestions? Defence is fine. Fernandes, Rice, Rodgers, Enzo, Wilson. Roll the transfer there. You're good to go. Hallen, Krupi Jr., Senesi, Konsa, Dubravka. I'm assuming your second forward is very cheap anyway as well. That's a very good team there, Noel. Get rolling. No need to make any moves there at all. Frank O'Brien, Alisson, Dubravka, Gabriel, Timber, O'Reilly, Tarkowski, Chalobah, Rice, Bruno Fernandes, Semenyo, Enzo, Wilson, Thiago, Hallen, João Pedro. Bench 4 out of those. Wow. Dubravka, I'm going to say who you're starting. Alisson, Gabriel, Timber, Chalobah. So you're benching O'Reilly, Tarkowski there. Rice, Bruno, Semenyo, Enzo, Wilson, Haaland, Thiago, João Pedro. Wow, so you have to bench one of your midfielders then as well. So Rice, Bruno Fernandes, Semenyo, Enzo, Wilson. You're going to have to bench Wilson there. Not ideal, but yeah, I think you're going to have to go Wilson on the bench. Unfortunately, I do think Wilson does well, but out of those players, I'd be starting them over Wilson. Not ideal, but sure, look, that's life. That's FPL for you. Right, good stuff. We're nearly on 25 likes. Keep the likes coming in on stream if you can at all. What do you think of Mbeumo captain this week? Sure, look, he played 90 last week, didn't he? If he's playing in that position for United up front, nothing wrong with that. I just prefer Bruno Fernandes. If you have the 2 of them, captain Bruno. If you only have one, obviously you captain Mbeumo. I'd be captaining Mbeumo over Haaland this week if I had Mbeumo and didn't have Bruno. Make that of what you will. So James, good man. Got Chalobah, sent to my team. Can't afford Munoz. What have you in the bank, Paul? Let's have a look for a replacement for you. Let me know what have you in the bank. Let's get you sorted here early on in the stream. Good man. Luca, I already did moves yesterday. Ryan for Donnarumma, Senesi in for Dorgu. Who do I start between Senesi, Richards and Rodgers? Always the attacker there. Yeah, start Rodgers. Real football back tonight. Come on, the Shells. Shells are playing Waterford. Am I right in saying that? Be Irish. Let me know if you're playing the League of Ireland Fantasy. I'm not playing it, but let me know if you are. But I think Shells are playing Waterford, are they? I'm just checking it here now. Yeah, in Waterford. So fair enough. Good stuff. Karaoke. Should I play my bench boost with Dubravka, DCL, Hall and Anderson? DCL tonight. Anderson. Do you know what? I would there, to be fair. Anderson getting some DEFCON. DCL getting a goal tonight. Wouldn't say no to that happening at all. Hall, I'll be hoping that they keep Brentford quiet anyway. And Dubravka, you might get a sneaky clean sheet there. Save points if not. That's not a bad bench boost at all. Get it out of the way and get it done. Bench Haaland, given Pep's comments. I think that's mind games from Pep then as well. So I'd be starting a Haaland there. Don't worry about that. The other day on Insta, yeah. So Timber didn't train, but he'll be fine. Got 5.1 for a defender. Paul, right? Let's get you sorted here. It's probably going to be Lacroix. If I'm looking at your team here, I'll get it up here. I probably would just play him ukulele. Looking at Thiago. If there's nothing wrong with Thiago, why would you even get rid of him? Did he play 90 last week? Yeah. Don't bother doing a sideways move for Hall. Just leave it at that. Semenyo first bench, could be points on from there, but I would probably still start Wilson over him. Just very close, to be honest with you. Just roll the transfer. No need to do Thiago to Hall. Leave it at that. If you really want to bring in Ukulele, do, but I don't think I would. I'd play Thiago over Ukulele this week. I would. Let me know if that's all right. Right, going back to the questions here. What are we saying? Will you have a look at the team there, Ryan, on WhatsApp? Of course I will, man. Good stuff. Right. How are we looking here? Raya, Gabriel, Virgil, Chalobah, Enzo Fernandez, Bruno, Rice, Wilson, Rodgers, Thiago, Haaland. Good to go there. pretty much the same team as me. It is the same team as me. No, it's not. Only Thiago or Haaland over Ekitike. Good to go. Same team as me, only Ekitike over Thiago. I'd probably prefer Thiago this week, so I probably predict you to get more points than me, Ryan, this week. Good man. Right then, 10 to 5 or thereabouts, 10 to 5. Good stuff. Right, let's keep this going. Keep the questions coming in as always. And yeah, the best league in the world is back tonight. Who said that there in the chat? Saw Doctor, good man. Yeah, best league in the world back tonight. Fingers crossed, Galway United can get a result anyway, at least tonight. Drogheda aren't that bad at all, so we'll see how we go. Right then, where else are we? My transfer out Thiago for Hall. Paul, leave Thiago on the team. Rohit Tagara. I'm not even going to try it. Rohit Tagaral did a double free transfer. Palmer, Thiago out and Buemo Pedro in. Do a -4 to Mateus, Nunes to Timber or Haaland Ekitike, given Haaland is unlikely to start. Not worth a -4. Keep Haaland in the team. All good there. Gabriel captain next week. Jono. Is that John Amara from the Patreon? Good to see you, man. Would you take a -4 to get rid of Gamara's this week or not? Other mids are Fernandez, Rice, Ndai and Semenyo. Not worth a -4. It sounds like he's going to play. Am I not even showing my team there? I am, yeah, Grant. I'd just play for Gamara's. It sounds like he's going to be back, to be fair. It sounded a positive update if I'm right in saying that, from what I remember seeing anyway from Eddie Howe. So let me just have a quick look at this. Bruno Guimaraes. It sounded positive anyway from what I remember seeing. Yeah, sounds like Bruno Guimaraes and Lewis Miley are both likely to be back and involved against Brentford tomorrow. Gordon is set to miss the game after coming off injured against City, so I'd keep Guimaraes in your team. No point getting rid. All good there. Grand. Start for Bruggen or Dubravka this week. For Bruggen, Brighton are up against, off the top of my head, Brighton are up against Crystal Palace, aren't they? Am I wrong in saying that? Yeah, Crystal Palace on Sunday. Testing the old brain there. But for Bruggen or Dubravka, probably Dubravka. I can see both conceding. Brighton are at home, but I can see Palace getting one there, so probably more chance of save points from Dubravka. Burnley at home are better considerably than their away form. Dubravka has to make amends after his poor performance against Sunderland last week, so probably go Dubravka, get some save points in there. Fatnik, need your suggestions with my defence. I'm having Gabriel, Chalobah, Anderson, Virgil, O'Reilly. I'm already having triple Arsenal. I want a good replacement for my O'Reilly. Who do you suggest? You've already have Gabriel, Chalobah, Anderson, Virgil, O'Reilly. A lot of very strong defenders there. Gabriel, Chalobah, Virgil are fine this week, so you don't even have to make a transfer. Don't worry about that. Just get it done this week, or save the transfer this week and then get rid of O'Reilly in the midweek games. All good there, Fatnik. Don't bother with that. Nobody's buying Madueke. It's because Saka is set to be back for Gameweek 7, so I don't think it's worth going Madueke short term. And even with that over the double game week, I'm expecting Martinelli, Trossard, probably even Eze to share some minutes on the wings anyway. So no, I'd leave off that. Go Madueke. He could be a nice punt. He definitely starts one of them anyway. Whether he starts two, could be starting two an early sub on both occasions. I don't think it's worth it if Saka's going to be back for 27, so I'd leave that off. Leo, I've Raya, Gabriel, Chalobah, Virgil, Wilson, Rogers, Cunha, Enzo, Bruno, Ekitike, João Pedro, Thiago. Need to bench one. Probably going to have to bench Wilson there. Not ideal. João Pedro, Thiago have to be starting there, I think so. So you're probably going to have to bench Wilson. Not ideal at all. Probably going to say Wilson there. Would you ever get rid of Raya for Timber? It's a luxury transfer, so definitely not. Even with the doubt around Timber now, I don't think I'm going to even bother thinking about Timber. If I had a couple of free transfers, I might have done it. Not going to do it now. I'm happy enough to have Raya in the team. At least with Raya, he's guaranteed to start the two games unless a ridiculous injury happens to him, which I don't think it will. So that's why I'm happy enough with Raya. I saw even FPL Harry is going Raya in this week instead of going Timber with the uncertainties. So yeah, I'm sticking with Raya myself. All good there. If Timber was set to start the two games, if I knew that, Timber scores more than Raya with attack and threat. Not really Defcon. He's not a great lad for Defcon. I had him when Gabriel was injured. He was a bit frustrating tone, to be fair. But I'm leaving myself on Raya. It's a luxury transfer going from Raya to Timber. So no, I'm happy enough as is. Feel like I can't ignore the Bruno train much longer. Semenyo, Rice, Mbuemo, Enzo, Wilson, Thiago, Haaland, Ekitike, looks like you're going to have to ignore the Bruno this week. Your midfield is stacked. I don't think I'll be getting rid of any of those players, even up front then as well. Ekitike could easily do well this weekend, off the back of a double last week against Newcastle. City very poor defensively. Wouldn't say no to a couple of goals for Liverpool in that game, maybe even a 2-2. It's either going to be a 0-0 or 2-2, a lot of goals. So let's see how that ends up. Haaland out for Ekitike, saw doctor, definitely not. Is bringing Pedro for Thiago worth it? Definitely not. Definitely not. You'll want Thiago back from Gameweek 27, so leave off that. Paul Beats really tempted to captain João Pedro against Wolves. Pedro's very hit and miss with the fact he doesn't have penalties, especially with Palmer and Enzo before him. I don't think I'll be doing it, so leave off that and leave it on Bruno Fernandes there. You have the captaincy on Haaland at the moment. Leave it on Bruno Fernandes. Pity Nalo's in your team there, Paul. That could even be a bench boost team there, but no, I'd leave that off. And yeah, you're good to go there. Bruno Fernandes captain. I'm looking at that then as well. Tavernier replacement for 6.2. Wilson, easy as it. 6.1 he is there. Even after the fixtures, even the City game, I wouldn't say no to him to getting something. Could have scored a free kick against United last week. Good save from Lamans on the edge of the box. Looking at those fixtures thereafter, Sunderland, Spurs and West Ham, wouldn't say no to a couple of returns there for Wilson over those games. So 6.1 million, go with that. Or if you want to be Bourne, but Bourne is effective as in Elliot Anderson. If you want to just go with Anderson, some DEFCON points. As I said, you got all 3 bonus points last week after picking up 3 DEFCON, which is pretty crazy to be fair. Why not just go him if you want to go there? Is bringing in Pedro for Thiago worth it? Definitely not, no, this week. Start Krupi or Munoz, always the attacker. I can see Crystal Palace conceding, so I'd leave it at that. Play Thiago or Wilson. Out of those, Thiago because of penalties, but I'd try and fit Wilson in there if you can at all. NAK, let me know there. Start Kelleher or Dubravka this week. Probably Kelleher, on the basis he's a better chance of saving a penalty. A bit wild. I can see both conceding, to be fair. Brentford against, wasn't it Palace? Or no, Brentford against Newcastle. I can see both of them conceding. West Ham getting one against Burnley, Newcastle getting one against Brentford. Just with the fact Kelleher is a better penalty saver, that's why I go for them, more the expected chance of points. But I can probably see both conceding. That's all I'll say there. Start Anderson or Thiago this week. Anderson, if that's Elliot Anderson, start him. Yeah, go with that. What do you think of buying Madueke? As I said, I'm not going to go there myself when I already went Rice. If you have the option to go Rice over Madueke, I still would. Saka is set to be back from Gameweek 27. Madueke can probably see him starting at least one, probably being subbed off on both occasions. If he starts 2, he will be subbed early, as we saw at the weekend then as well against Leeds. He got his haul in the first 60 minutes or so, but with the fact that they're sharing minutes with Martinelli, Trossard, even Eze can play on the wings then over the double game week if Saka isn't there. I'd probably wouldn't risk it, to be honest with you. With Rice, it saves me a transfer down the line then as well. He's a 90-minute man. He shouldn't be benched for over the double game week then as well. Arsenal need these points on the board, especially after City slipping up last week. So yeah, I'd leave Rice as your priority, or even if you want to go triple Arsenal defence, that's another shout there. That's what you can do there also. Right, good stuff. Right, how are we looking there? Who is that? A follower with a person with 1 million followers on Instagram liked my post there. I speak football only, and she's got a picture with Cristiano Ronaldo in her first one. She must be famous across the world. Fair play to her for giving us a like, whoever she is. Right, is Evan Nielsen a good striker option? João Pedro this week at around that price point if you can at all. Even as I said about Thiago, I don't think I'd want Evan Nielsen. Kevin Turan in the chat. Kevin, hope all is well, man. Cheers for tuning in as always. Happy Friday. Coop's here as well. Cooper 1999. Good evening, Era. Thoughts of a bench boost with Dubravka, Sobosai, Rodon, Ukulele, or any replacements to play the bench boost? Probably not this week, no. Sobosai playing right back against City. He might get some DEFCON then as well. Same at Ukulele, he might get some DEFCON. We'll talk that as about a 6-7 pointer there. Dubravka, can't see him getting a clean sheet there. So you're probably going to touch 10 points with that. I think it can probably be a better bench boost another week, to be fair. Better fixture for Sobosai, better fixture from Ukulele. I'd leave it for another week. Hamid, Senesi, Tarkowski or Rodon? Who should I start this week? Senesi, Tarkowski, Rodon. Probably if I'm saying, Can probably see Bournemouth conceding then as well. Of course, I've got Morgan Rogers in my team. I'm expecting Aston Villa to score, predicting Aston Villa to score. Can probably see Fulham scoring then as well. Tarkowski probably the better to get some DEFCON. Rodon probably the better chance of getting an attack and return. Whatever way you want to play the game, I probably would keep it boring and then go with Tarkowski in defence there too. What's up, bro? FTBL 07, start 3 of Anderson, Cash, Mukalele, Gabriel, Senesi. Gabriel, Senesi and Anderson is what I'll be going for there. David Morgan, hi mate, got 2 free transfers. Would you do Elliot Anderson, Tim Buemo or Roll? Have Enzo, Rice, Bruno and Wilson already, but a bit of a value in Wilson, and don't want to sell just to buy again once Enzo goes. Would you do Elliot Anderson, Tim Buemo or Roll? I mean, if you don't have any other concerns in your team, and Buemo in for Elliot Anderson isn't bad at all. Don't forget with Elliot Anderson, he's racking up them not near the double digit returns, but the DEFCON returns. But sure, look, if that sets you back up for the rest of a couple of weeks, and if at least you're not putting yourself into a bench and headache every week, I probably would do them Buemo transfer and set yourself up nicely, especially with Bruno or Buemo playing up front. Is Enzo essential? I have 0 Chelsea assets. Where is that comment gone now? Is Enzo essential? I have 0 Chelsea assets. I don't know if I should go from O'Reilly to Chalobah and start him over Tarkowski or Roll. O'Reilly to Chalobah if you can. Let me know the rest of your midfield there. Enzo, the best Chelsea attacker value wise, I think so anyway, especially if Palmer isn't on the pitch with him on penalties. We saw even last week he didn't need the penalty to get a return. Would have preferred if he kept the t-shirt on. That's alright though. I'm happy enough with him getting that goal than a blank. But if you can get to Enzo, let me know. If you have the likes of Anthony Gordon, it's a straight swap to Enzo Fernandez there. But let me know the rest of your team there, VVRTSZ, and I'll help you there. Svet Livid, I want to sign a Chelsea defender and can't decide between Cucurella and Chalobah. Get Chalobah in the team there. Cucurella obviously got that goal last week. Chalobah a bit more of an attacking threat obviously from set pieces. If we're going through the DEFCON there, let me have a look at how Chalobah is for DEFCON. I did have enough for Cucurella over Chalobah. I just went for Chalobah instead there. Going through the DEFCON there, he's got DEFCON in the last 4 or 5 games. Where am I even scrolling? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Last 5 games he's got DEFCON, so I'm happy enough to have Chalobah on that basis. And he's got a sneaky attacking threat also. Rupert, feel like I've made a poor choice with Reece James. Will he start this week? Yeah, definitely wouldn't advise on getting Reece James into your team. Definitely not. It's hit and miss whether he'll start, to be honest with you. If you have a couple of free transfers, I probably would get rid of him because he's going to give you a bench and headache every week. Not even yourself, but off the team then as well. Right, grand sound. You reckon I play my bench boost with I'm looking at my work phone there. I'm not even meant to be working, so I need to ignore that. You reckon I play my bench boost with Dubravka, Hill, Alderete and Guy? Definitely not. Hill might be alright, Alderete maybe DEFCON. Guy doesn't even get a kick for Chelsea, so no, I'd leave that off. FTBL 07, apologies for skipping you there. Thoughts on buying Gabriel Jesus next game week for the double game week for Evan Nielsen? No, don't think so. Let's see who starts up front from this week. Too much of an uncertainty with him and Gyökeres anyway sharing minutes. I wouldn't advise on that. No, leave that off there. Definitely not. Right then. Seamus O'Coleman liked your story, but it's not unfortunately it's not the Ireland player. It's a different Seamus O'Coleman, but thank you for that all the same for liking my story. No, leave off that bench boost Scope X. Don't do that at all. Keep or sell Timber for Chalobah. I'm planning on selling Semenyo for Bruno. My current midfield is Rodgers, Wilson, Enzo, Anderson plus Semenyo. Semenyo to Bruno. If you're captain of Bruno, that's fine, but even at that, Semenyo can even return well there, so leave off that. Keep or sell Timber for Chalobah. Keep Timber. Arteta said he's okay, so let's see if he does get playing there. Thanks as always. Let's get those green hours, Cooper. Definitely. Do you think JP starts? I think so. My captain is Mbeumo, supreme leader. 9, good stuff. I hope he's assisting Bruno for some returns there. And Mbeumo can get the assists as long as Bruno gets the goals. That's all fine. Ross Farrow, start Joachim Anderson or Tarkowski. Can probably see both players conceding. It's in the same game also. Tarkowski probably slightly better for DEFCON. I've got Fulham in my last man standing this week. I'm down to the last 3 in a last man standing, so I'm going to say Joachim Anderson. He's a good chance of getting some DEFCON anyway. And hopefully Harry Wilson will be getting me a nice payday there. Let's see how we go. But yeah, Fulham, another person is Aston Villa, another person has Bournemouth. So let's see how we go with that then this week in the last one standard. Right, 5:05. Michael O'Connor, just getting the Discord open, Michael. Let's see what we're saying. Need to get back to William here first. Rice in for Saka. And what was the other move I said to you, William, before, in case you're gone? Hall to Chalobah, maybe? Hall to Chalobah. Right, what's Michael saying? 2 free transfers, 0.7 million in the bank. Raya, Virgil, Timber, Anderson. At least your defence is sorted. Wilson, Enzo, Semenyo, Bruno, Rice, Haaland, Ekatike. I think you have to be getting Gabriel in for Timber. Michael, it's a bit of a sideways move. He's priority. So go with that, Michael, if you can. Marcus, mate, should I play 3 at the back? Raya, Timber and Gabriel, or bench one of them, Dubravka for Raya or Anderson for Timber? Play 3 at the back. Arsenal have a 62% chance of keeping a clean sheet this week. Second favourites are Fulham, with a 32% chance. So the vast difference in that all points towards an Arsenal clean sheet. So they're the lone leaders, as I said in my video during the week. So play your Arsenal defenders. If you've got triple, play them all. Hey man, how are you today? I'm all good. Radim, I want to risk against going against Rice. Fair enough, Rice is a bit of a boring pick, but boring picks do sometimes pay off. Would you go Trossard or Madueke? Leaning towards Trossard because after Saka will be back, Trossard can still start. I think you're giving yourself a headache with who's going to start each week. I would advise playing Rice or getting Rice, but if you're picking one, probably Trossard. Yeah, but it's not ideal. I would still emphasise go for Rice. And let me know if what you think on that. But if you want to pick out a Madueke or Trossard, go with Trossard. But I'm going to stress go with Rice. Right, good stuff. Start O'Reilly or the Sunderland goat? Probably Mukulele there. More chance of Mukulele getting DEFCON over O'Reilly. So that's what I'd be going there. Start the goat, Mr. Tam. You know the crack. Start Mukulele there. Pick 2, Rice, Shirky or Semenyo. Rice and Semenyo there. Shaggy Orr, good man. Shaggy Orr has beaten me by 2 points in FPL this season. So fair play to him for tuning in this evening then as well. He's going well. Shirky, bench, and then start Rice and Semenyo is what I'd be going for there. Good stuff. Right then, keep the subs coming in if you can at all. We're what are we on the sub count there? Just looking at that, 8845. It'd be great to see if we could hit another 10 or 15 subs before the end of the stream. I know we've a lot to chat about yet, but if you are watching and you haven't subscribed, please do consider hitting that subscribe button. You don't actually realise how much it actually helps creators, not even myself but other creators. If you see someone and they're taking their time to stream, just click subscribe, and you might even have to watch them. Just click subscribe. We're trying to hit 9k subs before the end of February, and your support is greatly appreciated there then as well. And while you're down there, we're nearly on while this is loading, we're nearly on 35 likes. Get the likes in on stream if you wouldn't mind there too. Van Heck or Tiao this game week? Probably Tiao. Should I do a -4 to get Enzo, Ushin? Who you taking out? Let us know who you're taking out. But at the moment I probably wouldn't do it if you're taking out the likes of Anderson for an Enzo. Not wearing a -4, no. But if you have someone injured, maybe even Bruno Guimaraes to Enzo, probably would do that just. But Bruno Guimaraes should play. Enzo's a better pick for the next three or four game weeks. VVTSZ, midfielders, Rodgers and Buemo, Bruno and Dye and Rice. I missed out on doing and Dye to Enzo. I was thinking of going and Stavo as a punt, but too much risk. Leave it off. No, I wouldn't bother with that. Just keep your team as is. Would you start in Dye or Krupa Jr. this week? Probably Krupa Jr. just out of those. Ross Farrow, hi mate. Take Donnarumma out for Sanchez or Wilson Rodgers out for Enzo. Donnarumma to Sanchez. Donnarumma to Raya if you don't have triple Arsenal. That's your way, you get triple Arsenal there. Mr. Tam getting Ukulele over O'Reilly just on the DEFCON. You're welcome for the story, like up the bit of red. James Coleman, appreciate that, good man. Best Saka replacement, Rice, Rodgers, Verts, Sarr, Gibbs, White. Best 2 of them. Rice, Rodgers, Verts, Sarr, Gibbs. What? Best Saka replacement. Right, Rice, get Rice in. Easy does it. Rice and Rodgers. You have the nearly in the order there, I'd be saying there. Probably Sarr over Verts just, and then Gibbs White to finish off. I think DEFCON has ruined FPL. I miss Trent Digne combo from last season. Yeah, it's crazy. With the DEFCON, like we don't really consider wing backs at all. Probably even Munez, just probably Cucurella. Let's see how he gets on more with Rosenier, but at that price point he's probably too much, he's too expensive. But the player pool has lessened completely. We're only looking towards ones who can get DEFCON then as well, so it's a good thing and a bad thing. But I prefer it it's as sad as it sounds. You're counting DEFCON returns, hoping your player can get 10. But yeah, it's a good addition and a bad addition with the fact that it takes away the thread of going for, or the fun of going for a wing back. But when you think about it, then 3 DEFCONs over 2 weeks, adds up to a goal in FPL. So it's more ways of scoring points, I know, but it definitely takes out the fun element of getting some attacking returns. But sure, look, that's my 2 cents on it anyway. Ahmad, should I do a -4 and bring Rice? Where are you gone there, Ahmad? Sorry. Should I do a -4 and bring Rice? My team is Sanchez, Gabriel, Chalobah, Senesi, Anderson, Bruno Fernandes, captain, Enzo, Mbeumo, Wirtz, Evan Nielsen, Haaland. Benches of Bravka, Munoz, Mukulele and Mane. Good stuff. You got Mane for the double game week next week. Always good to see that there. Sanchez, Gabriel, I'm looking at my team here before I actually get into that. Could I do Mane in for Wolves of who? Chelsea? Maybe not. Or no, sorry, that's this week. Wolves have Nottingham Forest. My bench at the moment, I'm just looking at Burnley's fixture during the week. Who have Burnley? Crystal Palace away, not ideal. If I did, I'm gonna say what, Mukulele, no, against Liverpool, probably not, right? I can forget about the bench boost there. Right, leave off that. But anyway, back to Ahmad. -4 and bring should I take a -4 and bring Rice? My team is Sanchez, Gabriel, Chalobah, Senesi, Anderson, Bruno Fernandes, Enzo, Mbeumo, Wirtz, Evan Nielsen, Haaland. Bench of the Bravka, Munoz, Mukulele and Mane. -4 and bring in Rice? I don't think so. Not this week. Make sure you have a plan for bringing in Rice next week, though. Keep that in mind. That's all there. Do you think Semenyo gets more points than Haaland this week? I think Haaland gets back amongst the goals scoring for him then this week. I do think there's going to be goals, as I said, in that game against Liverpool at Anfield. Pep has hinted that he's going to be rotated, but he's not. He's not. It's just probably Pep throwing some fire towards Liverpool's preparation on Sunday. So no, I do think Haaland starts. If he doesn't start, who have I got first sub? Do I move Mukulele first sub? Maybe I do. On that basis, maybe I do. But I think my team is fine for the weekend anyway. Do you know what? Just he deserves being moved first sub, Mukulele. While I'm here, I'm just going to do it now. If it wants to let me do it. Grand, good stuff there. Bang, all good. Save the team. Bruno Fernandes, captain. All good. Right, back to the chat here then as well. Just move this up a small bit more. Grand. Start 7 FTBL 07. Rice, Palmer, Anderson, Enzo, Fernandes, Haaland, Evan Nielsen and Kruby Jr. Start 7. Palmer, Rice, Enzo, Fernandes, Haaland is 5. 2 more, Anderson and Kruby Jr. I think that's where you go for there. Do you think Semenyo gets more than Haaland? I think Haaland, as I said there, yeah. Sally Nallis, what do you think about João Pedro captain? I have Bruno too, but don't like an early kickoff. Thanks, you're the best as always. Appreciate that, Sally Nallis. Leave it on Bruno Fernandes. Technically, it's not an early kickoff because there's a game tonight, so leave off that. Leave it on Bruno Fernandes. I think there's goals in that game at Old Trafford, and United are very much a team in form. Start 1, O'Reilly, Keane or Goodmunson. Keane there, probably just. If you can do O'Reilly to Chalobah, get that done. Michael Murphy, would you bench boost if you had Dubravka, Thiago, Tarkowski, Mukulele on your bench? Probably just about there, yeah. That looks to be a 10-pointer plus. If Thiago gets a couple, yeah, I can easily see Thiago get something against Newcastle, and then Tarkowski and Mukulele. Good chance of DEFCON there then as well. So I'd leave off that and get those in. Thinking Haaland out for one game. We think Liverpool will keep him relatively quiet. I don't think I'd do that, Michael, this week. Definitely not. I know it's only for 1 week, but I don't think so. Kevin Turan, if I get rid of Timber for Chalobah and then bring in Chalobah next week, I might have to bring in Rice for Wilson. What do you think, mate? So if I get rid of Timber for Chalobah and then bring in Chalobah, next week I might bring in Rice for Wilson. Fair enough. If you've got Gabriel Raya already and you don't want to go triple up on the Arsenal defence, nothing wrong with that. Only if it's all for free, I'd go for that there. Choose one from Bruno Guimaraes, Evan Nielsen or Thiago. Thiago out of those there. Sakib in the chat. Sakib, good to see you, man. What are we saying? Oh, sorry, Glenn Jacob with the 249. I missed that, Glenn Jacob. Good man. Too busy yapping away there. Happy Friday. Appreciate that, man. Thiago to João Pedro, worth a -4. Definitely not. No, not worth it there. Appreciate that, man, with the donation. No, not worth that. You'll want Thiago back from Gameweek 27. Leave off that and keep Thiago in there. I don't think it's worth a -4. No. Thiago could even do well against Newcastle, and let me just see again who he has during the week. Is it Arsenal? It is Arsenal, isn't it, next week? when João Pedro has leads. I don't think it's worth a -4 no. I can see Thiago getting one over the next two. That means João Pedro has to get 2 goals to break even, or get 3 returns, 2 goals and another return to outscore Thiago, and then you'll want Thiago back then as well. So no, I don't think so. But appreciate that donation there, Glenn Jacob. Very kind man. Appreciate that. Good stuff. Right then, we've an hour and 17 or so to go until the deadline. 50 in the chat then, which is great. We're nearly on 40 likes. Get the likes, keep on. I can't even speak. Get the likes coming as always on the stream, and keep the subscribes going if you can. We're trying to hit 9k subs before the end of February. That's why we're streaming here on a Friday evening, where as I said, I took off work early to get this stream done out of the way. So appreciate it if you wouldn't mind clicking subscribe on the channel, and shout out Glenn Jacob once again for that. But do not take that hit. No, I wouldn't recommend on that. Choose one from Bruno Guimaraes, Evan Nielsen or Thiago there. Sakib, Raya, Gabriel, Kanate, Chalaba, Rice, Wilson, Verts, captain. Don't know about Verts, captain. Enzo, Haaland, Ekitike, Krupi. Benches Dubravka, Mukulele, Cherky, Dorgu, Dunsaka and Hall to Rice and Chalaba. 3 free transfers and 2.1 in the bank. Roll or use free transfer. Holden, Liverpool. Bit of dust there in my face there. Apologies about that if I was blowing on the mic. You have no Bruno Fernandes. I'd be looking at Verts to Bruno Fernandes and give him the captaincy there. So let me know if that's alright. I know you want to keep the Liverpool lads, but you need Bruno Fernandes there for a captaincy pick. It wouldn't be captain and Verts. Definitely not there. No. Mark Twain TV, sup boss, how's all? Bench 1 of DCL, Wilson and Dye. 1 and Dye, maybe in Dye. DCL probably gets something tonight, maybe just in Dye. Mane, a good pick for the Wolves double. He definitely is. He's Wolves' best pick, considering his price and considering his returns and minutes over the last while. So yeah, Mane, and if you want to do a Marquee to Mane, that's an easy transfer there. If you have the transfer available, why not go for that? Oshin Kossolo, Anderson and Raul Jimenez out to Enzo out to get Enzo on the -4. Probably not. No, don't think it's worth it. Anderson of Nottingham Forest. Jimenez could even do well against Everton, so no, that's not worth a -4. Irish hype no. Start Thiago or Anderson of Fulham. Probably Anderson there. Start Donnarumma or Dubravka. If you're not starting Donnarumma, and if you don't have triple Arsenal, do Donnarumma to Raya. Get that done there. I'm going Palmer. Bruno will get less of points this game week. I'm at 190k. Good going there, incognito. Bruno might hurt you this week. Looking at the poll there, 120 votes. 74% on Bruno, 9% on João Pedro, 11%. Gabriel is more than Haaland, which is very interesting. Wow. Have exactly enough for Semenyo to Verts, Michael. I'll be keeping Semenyo. You can't be getting rid of him after his returns. I know Verts, fair enough, if he had a better fixture, nothing wrong with his picture, but no, I'd be keeping Semenyo. I wouldn't be surprised if Semenyo gets something this week as well. Alex Kelly, well, Niall, 5 free transfers and feels mad to burn one. Would you go Thiago and Sanchez to João Pedro and Kelleher, or Thiago and Enzo to João Pedro and Sarr? Don't be getting rid of Enzo, definitely not. 5 free transfers. If you can get Sanchez to Raya, get your triple Arsenal there if you can. If not, who are getting there? Thiago. Wouldn't we get rid of Thiago? But considering you have 5 free transfers, I'll probably do Thiago to João Pedro this week, and then get Thiago back in the team then once you have Gameweek27 is upon us. Sorry, I'm getting sidetracked here looking at Instagram, seeing if anything else has come in there. No, but it hasn't. Grand. Right then, Blaine, keep or sell Igor Thiago? Keep, but if you're like Alex Kelly there with 5 free transfers, why not just use them and get João Pedro in for the short term, and then get Thiago back in Gameweek 27? All good there, right? Let's get to the Patreon here for a bit then. Would you go -4 to get Pedro in? No, not worth it. Grand. Andrea, you think Thiago's a better pick, or flip the coin, Bruno captain? Yeah, Thiago, just Bruno. Grand, all good there. Jamie's happy out in the Patreon there. Good man, Jamie. Finton, what are we saying? 2 free transfers, 0.7 in the bank. Don't want to go Rice, but not sure who else to go. Also thinking of a punt on Guy Mane next week. Saka to Verts and Alderete to Saliba. Looking to go differential, obviously. What other pick could you go if you're not going Rice? Saka to Mbeumo. You enough for Arsenal. cover then. Right, all good there. Right, let's get back to the YouTube for now. Start Croupier Hill this week. Croupy, start the attacker. Palmer Verts captain needed to be different. Palmer, but I'm not even that confident about start from. But the fixture there, you have to probably risk it for a biscuit. Duffer, have Raya, Gabriel and Timber. No free transfers. Would you triple Arsenal or who to be the best keeper to replace Raya long term? No free transfers, leave Raya. I have Raya in my team there. Why would you get rid of Raya? Definitely not. And Wemo for Saka for -4. If you know the cover, just go for it. Stu Getty, do I start Esteve or Mukulele? Mukulele, the GOAT. Get him in there. Could easily get some defcon against Arsenal. Start Thiago or Anderson of Fulham. Anderson. Start 2 Wilson, Verts or Thiago. Start 2 Wilson. Verts and Thiago probably, but I wouldn't say no to Wilson returning. Thoughts on Strand Larson? Leave him off. I wouldn't go near Strand Larson. No, leave him off. Mateta maybe, but no, I wouldn't go near that. Looking at the like total there, we're nearly on 50 likes. Keep the likes coming there if you can. Let me know. What are we saying here? Let me know what to do with Thiago. Someone in the Patreon is asking here. Keep Thiago. No point getting rid. Abdullah here. 2 free transfers. What do you think? Saka to either Rice or Mbeumo, then Timber to Gabriel. Good moves. Saka to Rice and Gab in there. Grand, all good there. Mo, what are we saying? What about this? Have I got no bench players? Shall I spend -4 on a defender? No, starting 11 is just about okay. Right, good stuff. Grand. How else are we looking here? Cash or Senesi, someone's asking there. Senesi this week, just about. Can see both conceding anyhow. They're both in the same fixture, to be fair. John Baker here, what are we saying? Looks like Watkins will be in the squad. Am I lined up correctly or any defensive changes? Is it worth playing Dubravka and Esteve instead of Verge or Donnarumma? Have you free transfer to get Raya? All good there. Michael, how's things? Who do I bench here? Niall, Verbruggen, Gabriel, Chalaba, Timber, Wilson, Rice, Semenyo, Fernandez, Krupi Jr., João Pedro, Haaland. Rodgers on the bench isn't ideal. Prob, okay. Just for a sub. Grand. Jay, maybe next week when I have 2 free transfers, assuming no injuries. What about start 11 and captain, please, mate? If you don't have Bruno Fernandes, who would you be captaining? Maybe Haaland, if no Bruno. Grand. Start 2, Wilson, Verts or Thiago. Back to the chat here. We're chopping and changing. Start 2, Wilson, Verts or Thiago. Probably benching Wilson just. Mbeumo for Saka for -4. If you've no other issues, why not go for it? Or if you need some cover, I'd go for it. Hey mate, would you do Saka plus Esteve to Verts and Rice, or just Saka to Rice and roll the other transfer? Yeah, Saka to Rice, all good there. Who should I put out first on that bench, Lafie or the Cooper? Lafie on penalties if he gets one against Arsenal. I don't think he will, but just to be safe. If you don't have Bruno, who might you captain, mate? Yeah. Let me get a poll going on that, yeah, because someone was asking me there in the Patreon. Even Gabriel could be a shout. Let's get that going there. If you don't right, who are we saying? Gabriel, Haaland, not even Ekatika, João Pedro, one more, if even, Enzo. Right, let's see what the chat is saying on that. Right, an hour and 8 to go until the deadline. Keep the questions coming as always, and keep the subs coming if you wouldn't mind there too. Gabriel straight off the bat there is what the chat are saying. Let me just say him. Gab could be a shout too. Grand. Jamie, we're probably moving Gahey on. Not worth it. Leave off, yeah. Grand. FPL, what's your preference, Rice or Gabriel for the Ironman next week? They're already talking about next week, but leave that until next week. Raya, Gahey, Chalaba, Gabriel, Rice, Wilson, Fernandez, Rodgers. You can roll there. That's a strong team there. Alex, good man. This a lock. Gabriel, Mukalele, Kanate, Chalaba, Rice, Wilson, Verts, Enzo, Haaland. Is he leaving the captaincy on Chalaba? Wow. Interesting there. Okay. Someone going with Chalaba captain. Miss all the prices moves. Your transfers still the moves to make this week. I've 3 free transfers, 1 million in the bank. Gabriel, Mukalele, Virgil, Semenyo, Enzo, Saka, Rogers, Wilson. Yeah. Go for the same moves. All good there. Right, what are we saying on the chat? For Bruggen or Dubravka this week? Probably Dubravka, with the chances of some save points. EM, Owen McDonald, Raya, Gabriel, Thiaw, Anderson, Semenyo, Bruno, Enzo, Wilson, Rice, Ekatika, Haaland, Guy, Chalaba in for O'Reilly. All good there. 1 free transfer, thinking Anderson for Chalaba. Gehi, Virgil, Gabriel, Enzo, Bruno, Rice, Wilson. You're going to have to play 4-4-2. Go for it, so why not go for it? You have to play 4-4-2 there. Okay, I roll. Is this starting lineup okay? Or should I sub Mukalele for Riley? Leave Muke there. Alright, all good there. Ash, good man. Rolling there. Raya, Gabriel, Chalaba, Virgil, Wilson, Bruno, Saka, Rogers. All good there. Same team as me. All good. Have to jump off the YouTube there. All good there. Raya, Gabriel, Kanate, Chalaba, Mukalele, Rice, Wilson, Verts, Enzo, Cherky, Haaland, Ekatika, Krupa Jr. Cherky to Mbeumo, good move. Can do Cherky and Kanate to Konsa and Bruno F, but downgrades with defence massively. How much is Konsa? Let's have a look at how much Konsa is there. 4.4 for a defender instead of Konsa. If you want a captaincy pick there, what are we saying? Richards, a Crystal Palace maybe. That's what I'd probably go for. Bruno F and Richards. Need Bruno for the captain. Right, all good there. Let's jump back to the YouTube chat comments. What are we saying? Semenyo to Verts, probably not. Hi mate, would you do Saka plus a Stebe to Verts and Rice, or just Saka to Rice? Saka to Rice is fine there. If you don't have Bruno, who might you captain? The poll is saying Gabriel. So if you want to go with that, go with that. Haaland as well isn't the worst shout either. But I'd probably veer away from that Liverpool game, to be honest with you. Hello mate, Verbruggen or Dubravka this week? Probably Dubravka. Best Chelsea trio tone of Sanchez, Palmer and Enzo. If you have the 3 of them, that's probably what I'd be saying there. Yeah, Palmer probably not at this stage. Enzo and JP, João Pedro, Enzo and Sanchez. Probably even Chalaba. I know Sanchez is a lot cheaper than Chalaba. It's probably Sanchez, Enzo and João Pedro money wise. What about Cherky and Kanate, the Bruno F and Konsa have exact money? Yeah, that's what I was saying there, Sakib. I know you hopped off there. Probably Richards over Konsa. Some good fixtures for the Palace lads over the next couple of game weeks, so why not get him in there. Play Gravenberch or sub Saka out for free. Saka to Rice, get it done there. Am I doing Fantasy League of Ireland 2 Saw Doctor? I'm not. Won't get into too much. Got on to the League of Ireland, asked if they wanted to collab for free on stuff, and they basically told me no, and just to do my own thing. So I'm not going to bother with the League of Ireland Fantasy. It's great to see they are doing the League of Ireland Fantasy, but sure, look, if they didn't want any promotion, not that they needed anyway, but would have been nice to have been doing something with them. But I'm not going to bother wasting a post. There's enough to be posted on Instagram over the week. So not me being salty there, by the way, as well. I'm glad to see there is a League of Ireland Fantasy. I played it last year, just with me doing stuff with Galway then as well. I kept missing the deadlines also, so it's just one thing to forget about anyway. But if you are playing it, best of luck with it, Saw Doctor. I saw there's a few changes this year then as well, which is good to see also. But I'm going to be staying away from it as all. Gravenberch or Saka out for free. Already have Haaland, Thiago, João Pedro, Rice, Bruno Fernandes, Enzo. Gravenberch or Saka out for free. Saka to Mbuemo. So if you already have Rice, do that. Or can do Shirky to Mbuemo. Do the Shirky to Bruno Fernandes, then Richards in instead of Konsa. That's what I'll be saying there. Start DCL or Harry Wilson. Harry Wilson, I think you can surely start the 2. Maybe you can start the 2. JD Mimbat. Is it worth transferring Thiago to Anderson and Verbruggen to Sanchez this week? Of exact money, but can buy Senesi. Thiago, they're a bit of a nutting transfer, really, to be honest with you. Let's send in the rest of the teams there, JDM. But I wouldn't be that mad on those transfers. They're not really making your team any better there, to be honest with you. But let me know. Right, sound. We're just about to get into the business hour of the stream then as well. 2 minutes to go. Deadline is at 6:30, isn't it? It is, isn't it? A few new subs there on stream, which is great to see. As always, appreciate all the new subs. Yeah, an hour to go until the deadline, 6:30. And then, as I said, after this, I have to rush over to them in DC Park for the Galway United game, where I'm doing content with them. So it's all go between the League of Ireland and the FPL. But it's great to have the League of Ireland back. Right, all good there. Grand. Okay, sound. Right, well, I remember to send this to someone then as well. Mbuemo captain for a differential. No Bruno. If you've no Bruno, it's a kind of week there where you can probably take a punt on a captaincy. So why not go for it? Right, let me just get this sent off there. Grand. Good stuff. Let me know what you make of the new videos on Instagram and TikTok then as well. Shout out to Paul M Lad Design. If you're on Instagram, give him a follow. He's a very talented. He does everything to do with Galway United. To be fair, everything you see on their Instagram, apart from my videos, that's all him. So he's absolutely class at what he does. Yeah. So first video we did during the week did very well. Let's hope that they continue to do that. But just another bit of content for each game week now, which is always good to be doing. Can you please rate my team? Castle, Pickford, Gabriel, Timber, Anderson, Wilson, Enzo Fernandez, Bruno, Rogers, Anderson, Haaland and Thiago. Pickford, Gabriel, Timber, Anderson is fine. Wilson, Enzo, Bruno, Rogers, Anderson, Haaland, Thiago. You can roll there. You're good to go. Start which one of Keane, Mukulele or Senesi this week? Probably Keane, just about. Yeah, just about Keane there. Right, all good there. That's back in line. Good stuff. Right, Jason Fernandez, Raya, Chalaba, Virgil, Gabriel, Bruno Fernandes, captain, Wilson, Cunha, Somerville. I like the Somerville pick. Ekatika, Haaland, and João Pedro. God, Adil. Don't know who that is. Should I place who is Adil? Would anyone keep as is needed your help with this? Let me know who our deal is. Is it Alderete? Maybe? I don't know. Raya, Chalaba, Virgil, Gabriel, Bruno, Wilson, Cunha, Somerville, Ekatika, Haaland, and João Pedro. So it's not a forward. Wilson, Cunha, Somerville, Bruno. Who's Adil? I'm sorry, man. Let me know who Adil is. Which one do I bench? Rogers, Wilson, and Evan Nielsen. Probably Evan Nielsen just. I do think Rogers and Wilson do well. Maybe a bit biased because they're in my team. But sure, look, I probably am biased there. Right, good stuff. Good few messages to get back to there then as well. 50 likes on the stream. Appreciate that. That's great to hit as always. Jamie's happy out there. Good man, Jamie, in the Patreon. All good there. David McCarthy. Good to go. FPL Thiago for Rogers. Yeah, start Thiago. David McCarthy, Sanchez, Timber, Gabriel, Chalaba, and Dai, Semenyo, Enzo, Bruno Fernandes, and Mbuemo. Good, looks good. Don't think I'll make it to the ATM. That's all good there. Eddie, 2 free transfers, 0 in the bank. Raya, Virgil, Chalaba, Gabriel, Timber, Anderson, Enzo, Rogers, Bruno Fernandes, captain, Haaland, and Ekatika. Good to go. Roll. Roll, I'm trying to write. Virgil, Chalaba, Gabriel, Timber, Anderson. Yeah, that's a strong team. Let's leave off any moves there. Start Thiago or DCL this week. Thiago. But try and fit both. Grand. That's a DCL on Pens, a much easier fixture. Right, anyone starting any of the Burnley? Any news on Watkins? Any news on Watkins while we're at it? Is there anything? We'll get back to the chat here in a second. Just working through the Patreon messages then as well. It was Watkins in the squad I saw. Was he in the squad? It's predicted that he's come back into the team. Looks like he should. Alright, all good there. Grand. And this is Leo. Leo was watching us earlier. Leo, right, we're getting you now. Raya, Keane, Raya, Chalaba, Gabriel, Virgil, Cunha, Enzo, Rogers, Wilson, Anderson, João Pedro, Ekatike. 8.3 in the bank. Wow. Where's he gone with that? Don't know where that team has gone, but anyway, that's it for now. Good stuff, Grant. Right, that's all the Patreon ones. Back to the stream here. Keep the questions coming in. We're gonna fly through these if you want to keep sending them in then as well. Keep the likes coming in and keep the likes or keep the subscribes coming in if you wouldn't mind. Also, as I said, I'm gonna keep reminding you we're trying to hit 9k subs before the end of the month. It'd be great to hit it this month. So need your help with that. It's very much appreciated. Who do I bench? Rogers, Wilson and Evan Nielsen. Probably Evan Nielsen there. How about Captain and Mbuemo? No Bruno Fernandes. Captain and Mbuemo there. Josh, Heinal, 3 free transfers. Saka to Rice with 1 free transfer. Only have Timber and Raya, or Saka and Wirtz and Tarkowski to Gabriel, and triple up Arsenal defence. Bit of a sideways move. Saka to Rice, Timber to Gabriel. Gabriel is priority over Timber. Timber's a bit of a risk, but I think he's going to be fine for this weekend. But Gabriel, you need in the fence. Raya's fine there. I'd prefer Rice over a third Arsenal defender. Need help. Who to bench between Thiago, Rogers, Cunha, Enzo or Madueke? Thiago, Rogers, Cunha, Enzo or Madueke. If you're only looking to bench one, maybe Madueke, but probably not. Maybe Rogers out of that, so I think you start Madueke at home to Sunderland. Is this possible? Bench boost: Raul, Anderson, Mukulele and Dubravka. Nothing wrong with that bench boost if you want to get it out of the way. DCL or Harry Wilson to start. I think Wilson just. Start Rodon or Kruby this week. Always start the attacker. Who to start? Wirtz or kick Dewsbury Hall. If you're not benching Wirtz at that price, I know with that fixture, get Wirtz starting there. Start Tarkowski or Van Heck this week, mate. Tarkowski. I think both will concede. Just get Tarkowski in the team there. Rubber Duck in the chat. Quack quack. What's the crack, man? Hope all is well. Owen Flanagan, what do you think of Dubravka or Kelleher? As I said with earlier, I think both concede. Probably better chance of Kevin Kelleher saving a penalty than Dubravka. If you want to look at it that way, go with that. Bench at the moment: Dubravka, DCL, Senesi and Mukulele. Where the bench boost: DCL, Senesi, Mukulele, Dubravka. Not the worst bench boost. If you don't think you can get another one, leave it off there. Adil for Bournemouth. Josh, what were you saying there with Adil? Josh, that was the lad that came on and scored against Liverpool, wasn't it? I'm nearly sure. What was the question again? Sorry, there's too many questions there to scroll back, but do let us know what the question was about Adil again. Start 2 of Thiago, Tarkowski, Bruno G, O'Reilly, currently 110k overall. If you can do O'Reilly to Chalaba, get that done and get that out of the way. O'Reilly's a bit of a hindrance, I think, for you and your team, so get those done there. Right, what are we now? 54 minutes to go until the deadline. Appreciate the few new likes there and few new subs as always. Right, good stuff. Grand. Belly's rumbling here. Do I go for a mini Toblerone? Apologies to the girlfriend's office for robbing a Toblerone here just to keep me going for the next hour. Bench at the moment, Dubravka's at word of bench boost, probably not. Sell Tarkowski or O'Reilly for Timber. If you know the route to an Arsenal defender, I'd go O'Reilly out. Off to aim in DC Park tonight. I am indeed. I'll be running over to the pitch after this once I get the stream out of the way. If you see me, come up and say hello. Alright. Tarkowski or Timber, or Tarkowski to Timber or Verbruggen to Raya. Probably Verbruggen to Raya. Adam Whelan, Dubravka, Verbruggen. That was a mistake eating that Toblerone as well, by the way. Dubravka, Verbruggen, Chalaba, Gabriel, Timber, Senesi, Mukulele, Mbuemo, Bruno, Enzo, Sarr, Haaland, Evan Nielsen, Mane. 100 behind the main mid league, so I was going to just do Haaland to Bowen captain. Don't think so. No, don't do that. Could even do Evan Nielsen to Bowen if you could. Dubravka, Verbruggen, Chalaba, Gabriel's, Timber is fine. Rice and Mbuemo, Bruno, Enzo, Sarr. It's a good team. Nothing wrong with that. Don't lose the head out just off 1 week, so don't do that, no. Start one of Richards, Hill or Cash. Maybe Cash. Do you think Timber will start? If not, whom should I keep as my first sub? Ukulele or Richards? Ukulele first sub there. Yeah, get those done. Very chewy. Should I do Anderson to Bruno? Bruno in. Yeah, all good there. Do you think Timber will start? Probably, but have some cover with Ukulele. Yeah, I was thinking the triple on the fence. Timber, maybe a small doubt. Better. Grand. Right. You'd have to get the dinner in before the game. I don't think I'll be able to. I had lunch. I saw a doctor at least, but it's going to be a cold one out. Chatting to fans in a jersey. We're going around Galway during the week, freezing on Ayr Square and Shop Street, just in a jersey. I don't know how I'm not sick after, but it's going to be a cold one. I've got a jumper and a jacket to wear after in the stand, but yeah, I don't know. I won't have time to eat. I'll have to run over after this. I'm meant to be there from 6:30. I'm only finishing this at 6:30. But sure, look, that's the sacrifices you have to make. Looks like there's a crowd outside the stand, or outside the ground already. Wow, just looking at their Instagram here. Anyway, we've an FPL deadline to worry about first. Pedro captaincy punt. If you want to go for it, go for it. If you have Bruno Fernandes, it has to be Bruno Fernandes for the armband. If not, if you want to give it to Pedro, go for it. Nothing wrong with it at all. Right, 20-6. We've plenty of time. I could even, do you know what? Well, we'll see how we go. I was saying I could even leave at 1:45, but no, we'll keep it going. Or 1:15. Right, grand. Bench Anderson, Semenyo, Rodgers, or Thiago. If you're benching one Anderson, maybe it's a bit boring benching him with the chance of DEFCON. I think it's better to play Semenyo, Rodgers, and Thiago. Bench area. Take a -8 for Ryan Chalobah. Take out Sanchez from goal. Not worth a -8 at all. Sab, don't do that. Right, all good there. Casey McAteer. Who's Casey McAteer? Plays at Ireland. That's why Smodic left Ipswich apparently for some comments. Hopefully it's not true, is right. I don't know if Hallam will start against Liverpool. Pep is saying that. I think that's mind games from Pep, to be honest with you. Krupa Jr. there with a lovely finish in training. Wow. Lovely goal. Bad foot then as well. Take a -8 for Ryan Chalobah. No, I wouldn't be doing that. No, definitely not. One free transfer. They will bring in Bruno for Saka. Yes. Pedro captaincy punt. Nothing wrong with it. But as I said, go Bruno Fernandes. No way home. Hi lad, hope all is good. Hope you found your way home first. Do you think a -4 for Saka and keen out for Rice and Timber is worth it? Or is it a bit risky? If it set you up for the double game week, or if you can just do Saka to Rice with a free transfer and then worry about the loading up on the Arsenal, your third Arsenal lad next week, probably you might be able to leave off the hit then. So that's what I'll be saying there. Just go with that. We're nearly on 60 likes then as well. If you're watching and you haven't clicked like on the stream, go down there please and give the stream a like. Let's try and get to 60, 70, even 80 likes before the end of the stream. That would be great to hit that. 2 free transfers, Bruno G and Hall out to Mbeumo and Hill, or Chalobah and Sarr. Rob, what he was saying, didn't even know that was you, Rob. Sorry. 2 free transfers, Bruno Guimaraes and Hall out to Mbeumo and Hill, or Chalobah and Sarr. Chalobah and Enzo, Rob. You might already have Enzo, but Chalobah and Enzo is what I'll be looking towards there. Connor Lavin, start Dubravka or Donnarumma. Start Dubravka this week instead of Donnarumma. Maybe maybe, do you know what? Maybe I can see Liverpool scoring. The Bravka probably better chance of some save points then as well. I'd probably go for it. But that being said, if you have Donnarumma and you don't have Raya and you have a couple of free transfers, get Raya in there. Get that ticked off and have you an extra player, an Arsenal player for the double game week. Raya, obviously, the most nailed of the Arsenal defenders. Of course he is. He's in goals. Can't see Kepa starting over the double, which he won't. But if you can do Donnarumma to Raya, get that done and sort yourself out. Good man, Connor. Aman Khan. The Saka to Star. Is Saka to Star instead of Rice? Okay, everyone in my mini league has Rice already. Saka to Star. It depends if you're chasing or if you're not, but I probably would still go with Rice in the team there. Get him in. Go with that. Grand, right, good stuff. Lovely. Have a bit of a benching headache. Thoughts on João Pedro, Richie? If you can get him, do. No point getting rid of Ekatika this week. If you have 4 or 5 free transfers, there's nothing wrong with going João Pedro for a couple of game weeks and then going back to Thiago if you want to do that. But sure, look, if you're doing the likes of Walterman to João Pedro, of course you're going to do that transfer. Bowen, obviously not. He's playing Burnley. You can keep him. It depends if you've a route to João Pedro. If you've Ekatika is an easy keep, so I wouldn't be going away from him there. Josh, I have a bit of a benching headache. Which 2 players would you start? Thiago against Newcastle, Wilson against Everton, DCL against Nottingham Forest at home. Probably Thiago and DCL, and you're benching Wilson just. Conor Lavin starting Rodon this week instead of Senesi. Senesi hasn't let me down yet, but I think Rodon will score. Yeah, I was saying that earlier. Rodon has that attacking threat. Someone was asking about Anderson of Fulham, Tarkowski and Rodon. And Anderson probably has a better chance of a clean sheet against Fulham, or for Fulham against Everton. Tarkowski has a better chance of getting DEFCON, and Rodon has the better chance of an attack and return. Have that at what you will. Can probably see Leeds getting a result here tonight, to be fair, so why not just start him. Jason Murphy, hey Niall, how's things? Left my team over on Patreon group. Let me know if you get a chance. Cheers, appreciate it as always. Right, let's get Jason up here on stream. Jason has a good season so far. FPL, what do you think? Transfer use already to getting Timber, just wondering on the bench who to bench out of Estavia, O'Reilly or Van de Ven. Yeah, I think you have the right order there. Yeah, I think you've the right order there. Probably better chance of Estavia getting DEFCON compared to O'Reilly. More chance of O'Reilly getting a yellow card, so I'd leave that off there. Branimir locked as captain. Anderson, Richards, Gabriel, Enzo, Rice, Rodgers, Bruno, Wilson, Ekatike, Haaland. Not mad on Thiago on the bench. Maybe just Thiago over Wilson. Maybe. Grand. John, what are we saying? I use my free transfer to do Saka to Mbeumo. Who should I start? The Brav, can I stay here or stick with what I have? Maybe Dubravka over Don. Can see both. Can see them conceding anyway. Gonna turn on this heat for a sec as well, so apologies if it's making a noise. It's getting chilly in this room with only a t-shirt on, only a jersey on. Where are the bench boosts here? Wilson, Virgil, Esteve. Thiago, Ekatika, João Pedro, Cunha, Enzo. Nothing wrong with that, to be fair. Nothing wrong with it, to be fair. Grand, good stuff. Hopefully that isn't too loud coming across on the mic. Right, 5:45. Let's keep this going. Keep the questions coming in if you wouldn't mind. Josh, a bit of a benching headache. Which 2 players would you start? Thiago against New... Yeah, sorry, I was saying bench Wilson just. Jason, yeah, all good there. Owen O'Neill can't decide what to do. Of 3 free transfers, 0.4 in the bank. Midfield is Rodgers, Enzo Fernandez, Garner, Gravenberch is probably a goal for me anyway. Bruno Fernandes. Forwards Thiago, Haaland, Ekatike. Defences Timber, Gabriel, Coyote, Van Heck, Anderson. 3 free transfers, 0.4 in the bank. How much is Gravenberch? How much have you for a replacement for Gravenberch? Can we go all players here? Grand. Gravenberch is 5.6. So you're just missing out on a Wilson there. So a midfielder for 6 million. What are we looking at? Midfielder there. Where are we going? Let's put him down as a 6 there. As boring as it sounds, Anderson maybe. That's the only really pick there. Do you have him already? No, you don't. Probably Anderson. It's not ideal there. On 3 free transfers. save yourself a bit more money, but yeah, I probably would just do that. Who the bench between Van Heck and Thiago? Probably Van Heck. Rob, 89 points last game, good man, flying. Raya, Gabriel, Gehi, Hall, Rice, Bruno, Captain, Enzo, Semenyo, João Pedro, Haaland. So the 2 transfers will bring in either Chelsea defenders and either Mbeumo or Sarr with his great fixtures. Gabriel, Gehi, Hall. I would look at, to be honest with you, Hall to Chalobah if you can't afford it at all. Probably will go with that, to be honest with you, yeah. Would you start, Paul, you're back at Bruno for the Ironman, first time I've not captained Haaland this season, Paul. Wow, I thought I was bad for captaining Haaland. I get a lot of stick on Twitter for saying Haaland the majority of weeks, but no, keep it on Bruno. It has to be Bruno Fernandes this week. Haaland isn't himself at all. I was thinking Gravenberch to Anderson as well, to be honest. Owen, good to see that. Good, we're on the same wavelength, good stuff. Shane Gilligan, GUFC, hope to see you there, Shane, tonight. If you see us, come over and say hello, good man. Would you start Elliot Anderson or Krupi? Start Krupi there. Start the attacker. Right, I'm going to leave the team there. You can see it all like that. Grand, good stuff. Hopefully the heater isn't being too annoying on the mic there then as well. It's not too loud if you blur it out. If buying right now, Mbeumo versus Enzo, Mbeumo over Enzo, yeah. Go with that there, yeah. Right, good stuff. Nice one. Right, 10-6. Dubravka, Timber, Gabriel, Chalobah, Bruno Fernandes, Enzo, Rice, Wilson, Mbeumo, Haaland, João Pedro, benches, Verbruggen, Munoz, Mane and Hill. Dubravka, Timber, Gabriel, Chalobah's fine. Fernandes, Enzo, Rice, Wilson and Mbeumo, all good there. Lord without rings, you're good to go. What should I change? Don't change anything. Any thoughts on Chip's strategy for the rest of the season? Niall was considering triple captaincy on Gabriel next week. I don't think I will. I think I'm going to dead end my team into the Gameweek 31 free hit, wildcard thereafter, and then can bench boost and double and triple captain over those double game weeks then as well, as what I'll be saying there. That's alright for you, Jason. That's my potential trip strategy for now. Obviously, T and C's apply. Can always change, but that's what I'm eyeing up for now. Owen, yeah, good stuff. Get that Elliot Anderson move in. It's not the most out there move, but just get it done there. You'd be grand. Right, all good there. Right, what are we saying there? A certain Irish rugby player chatting to me here. That's how I am at the moment. One free transfer, not sure whether to go to Maguire or Senesi. Could always bench boost. Dubravka. Right, prob. Chance Maguire. So are Villa. Right, all good there. Grant. I was thinking Anderson. Right, all good there. Torian. Good man, Jason. Good stuff. Defense of Gabriel, Mukalele, Nico Riley, Richards, Chalobah. Happy with my midfield. Haaland, Ekatika, Thiago. 0 minutes to spend. 2 free transfers. Have triple Arsenal with Ryan Rice. I think I need to change Nico Riley. You do. You have no money in the bank though. You've only 5-1, so leave it off. So defense of Gabriel, Mukalele, Chalobah this week is what you're going to have to do. Let me turn off this mic there, or let me turn off this heat. Not ideal, but yeah, just roll that. It's not worth doing Nico Riley to a 5-1 defender. There's not much at that price point, so leave that off. Thiago from Brentford, or good Munson to start. Thiago from Brentford definitely, only because Thiago's been blanking up the last couple of weeks. His route to points are definitely there then as well, so I wouldn't shy away from that. Definitely not. Right, sound. Who to play in starting 11? Van Heck or Esteve? Probably Esteve there. Kieran Cool, Raya, Chalobah, Saliba, Gabriel, Anderson, Bruno Fernandes, Semenyo, Enzo, Wilson, Haaland, João Pedro, Rodgers, Tarkowski on the bench. 1 free transfer will be rolled. Who the captain or bench? Bruno Fernandes captain. Rodgers on the bench over Wilson, maybe just. If that's Anderson of Fulham, get Rodgers in over Anderson. Start Rodgers there, is what I'll be saying. Get yeah, you're doing 4-4-2. Get Rodgers in there over Joachim Anderson. Start Miley or take a -4 to sell him to a better. Not worth a -4. Leave off that. Definitely not worth a -4. No. Right, good stuff there. Grand. Right, 7 minutes to go. Darko, who to play in starting 11, Vanna? Yeah, I said Esteve there, all good. Semenyo or Scott this week? Semenyo. Stephen Walls for the Ironman Saw Doctor. Fingers crossed he can get a few tonight there for sure. Shiro ranks higher. Hope you're doing good. Who would you captain and vice captain out of these? Haaland, Semenyo, Wilson and Thiago. Plus Watkins first on the bench. Not sure he's starting. The main Villa man, FPL Villain over on Twitter, is predicting him to start. So who would you go there? Who would you captain and vice captain? Haaland, Semenyo, Wilson and Thiago, Watkins. Haaland, Semenyo, Wilson. Out of those, you probably are captain in Haaland with no Bruno Fernandes. I'd probably make it a priority to get Bruno Fernandes there, to be honest with you. Watkins first on the bench then as well. If you did Watkins to João Pedro, maybe. That's what you could go for there. Kodri Roberto. Which combination better to complete triple Arsenal? Ryan Tarkowski or Timber and Verbruggen? Ryan Tarkowski, yeah. Just with the small... Arteta said he's fine with the small doubts or question marks around Timber. That's what I'd go. I'd go there. 38 watching and 67 likes. Damn, bro. Yeah, we're going a while. We're going an hour and 23. Supreme Leader, keep the likes coming there if you haven't done so already. We're coming into the last 30 minutes of the stream then as well. We're nearly on 70 likes then as well. Get the likes going on stream if you wouldn't mind. So 2. Timber injury confirmed. Not injured. Arteta said he's going to be okay, so I'd leave it off at that. Would you take a -4 to get in Timber or Raya? Not this week. Use a free transfer next week and then go with that. Okay, start Miley or Mane. I've got Chalobah, so maybe start Miley. I'm predicting Chelsea get their clean sheet, so maybe leave it at that. Right, 35 minutes to go. Keep the questions if you don't mind them coming. We're on the road, I said, to 9k subscribers then as well. Trying to get there at the end of the month. We were at 150 off, hitting it now. Bang on 150, which is always nice to see then as well. It could be difficult actually to hit it with the FA Cup break actually. Damn. Maybe it might be a March job on that we'll have to do. 21st of February. What have I on that week? That's a late kickoff then on the Saturday. Another Friday night kickoff, which is good to see then as well. Right, grand. Keep the questions coming if I haven't got back to you, so keep sending them in. Kodri Roberto, who do you think is better from next week, Mbuemo or Wirtz? Who do you think better from next week, Mbuemo or Wirtz for the long term? Mbuemo. From next week onwards, Mbuemo. Go with that. Subscribe to the legend, guys. Appreciate that. Tries and play it. Daddy Mish. To be honest, I love we're a small watch and you're my secret weapon. Appreciate that, Matt. I'd prefer if it was a bigger audience. But glad I'm helping you on your way this season. It's a long slog, this YouTube channel. But sure, look, we're going. We're still going. We've got 10k in our sights, is right. Right, let me send this into the Patreon group. Keep everyone happy there then as well. It's sent nice and early as well. Ukulele first sub. Bruno Fernandes for the armband. What's Finton saying here? 3 in the fence. Have you enough for Arsenal cover then? Saka to Mbuemo. I already have Pickford. Actually, no. It's okay. If you don't want Rice and triple Arsenal defence, then right, all good there. Thiago to Pedro. Keep Thiago in the team. Thank you, appreciate that, man. Have a good weekend. Kodri Roberto, same to you, man. All good. 33 minutes to go to the deadline. Nice chill stream here then as well. Whom do you think is better for next week? Mbuemo or Wirtz long term? Mbuemo long term, especially if he's playing up front all the time. Nice one there. Grand. All good there. Right, nice one. Any other questions at all? Maybe if there isn't, we can nearly hop off early and head towards Eamon DC Park and get up and running. Would you sell Tarkowski for Chalobah for free, James? I probably would. Try and attack those next three for Chelsea. I probably would. Get that done. Nice one. Hope you're well, Niall Abdullah. Hope you're keeping well. Good to see you, is what I meant to say. Hope all is well, Abdullah. Chill, nice and chill stream here then as well. Grand, all good there. I might even stick this phone in charging for a couple of minutes and then come back to it. Right, good stuff. 72 likes is great to see also. I'm just going to roll over here, so bear with me. Leave this in charge and get it back up to 100%. Yeah, so right after this stream I have to rush over to Eamon DC Park and get some content done with fans and then get a match day vlogged in as well. So I'm gonna leave the phone in charge in there for a bit, but we'll keep going here. Start Munoz or Senesi, who's texting me there. Grand, all good, nothing too important. Start Munoz or Senesi this week. Munoz probably out of that for the attacking threat. Would you start Watkins over either Garner or Gravenberch? Probably sell him. Probably get rid of Watkins, to be honest with you. João Pedro is where you should be going for there. And then towards Thiago in 27. Good luck, mate. Kevin, appreciate that. Gahey to go to town on my pool this weekend. If he doesn't mind slipping and letting Nekatiki in, we'll take that. Would you sell Thiago to Bone or João Pedro? No, I wouldn't bother with that. James Casey, am I doing Fantasy League of Ireland? I'm not going to bother with it this season. I was saying it earlier. It's definitely great to see they're doing the Fantasy League of Ireland. I touched base with the actual page on Instagram, and they want to do their own stuff. They told me to post my own things then as well, but I'm not going to bother with it this year. Just another thing, I one less thing to worry about then as well. I'm doing enough content for the League of Ireland with Galway United anyway, so I'm just going to focus on Galway United stuff. And but sure, look, it's great that they have the Fantasy League of Ireland. I'm just not going to bother with it for now, for this year. Virgil or Richards? Maybe I might change my mind, we'll see. But for now, just with the response I got, I'm going to leave it off. Virgil or Richards this week? Virgil. I'll go with Virgil. Defcon, good chance of Virgil getting an attack and return from a set piece. He had a goal ruled out in the game that Eddie had earlier on in the season. Good memory of that game week for myself when I had Saka captain away to Sunderland and Haaland missed a penalty that week. So yeah, start one Rodgers DCL or Senesi DCL. Surely you can start Rodgers then as well. Do let us know if you can. Life of Safil. Right, 1 minute past 6. Grand. Don't forget to choose a deadline then as well next week. We're nearly on 80 likes. Keep the likes coming then if you can at all. I'm going to have a quick look at, make sure this is up for us then as well. Start one, yeah. Here, would you start Dubravka or Donnarumma this week? Dubravka just, I think. Yeah. That's what I go for. With Donnarumma, we lost the stream there, but we're back. We should be back. Are we still streaming? Are we gone? Should be still going, are we? Yeah, we're back. All good there. Right, we just page corrupted there for a second, but we're back. If you can do Donnarumma to Raya, I was saying maybe just go with that. Bench Thiago or Ndai. Bench Ndai. Surely you can start them all, but bench Ndai is what I'll be saying there. Start Thiago. I know he's been blanking up the last couple of weeks, but he's doing well. Never knew Jake O'Brien played in the League of Ireland. Who did he play with in the League of Ireland? Wow. Jake O'Brien. Cork City, wasn't it? Cork, yeah. Fair enough. If you're playing the League of Ireland fantasy, let us know who you're captaining this week. I wouldn't even know who to captain if I was. I captained Hickey last year, but Hickey's gone to Bowes. So maybe I'd just throw it on Shane Walsh. Or Stephen Walsh. I'd be too much focus on Galway United games. That's the way I'd play it. I'd be captaining Galway United lads all the time. Start Pickford or Dubravka this week. Pickford, probably just for save points. Jaime got Palmer and Bruno. I'm very tempted to captain Palmer this week. Do I go for TJ? No, he's not fully 100% fit, so I'd leave off that. Leave it on Bruno Fernandes. And yeah, we should see some returns from Bruno anyway, so leave it on him. I hope Palmer does well for you, but I'll be hoping Enzo does well. So leave it at that. Right, 26 minutes to go until the deadline. Keep the questions coming in if you can. We've 46 viewers in, which is great to see. Could do with Shane Walsh up top, probably could. Stephen will do a job this year. Tonight, hopefully he'll get on the score sheet. Just going to look at the odds for Galway United this or tonight, not for the season, but tonight. Drogheda are very good then as well. Wouldn't be surprised if Drogheda are favourites, but with the fact Galway are at home, Galway United versus Drogheda, odds on that game. Wow, Galway United are just over evens. Drogheda are nearly, would you say 3 to 1, 2.5 to 1, just under. Wow. Michael Duffy, League of Ireland fantasy captain or Drogs defender. Defenders are huge in League of Ireland. His own Elding still with Sligo, a great footballer. He's gone to Hibs. I did a shoot with him and Elvery's last season. I didn't know who he was going to the shoot, and then when I was leaving it, I definitely knew who it was. He sat me down a few times. Did a crossbar challenge with him. He scored 3. He got 3 in a row. I only got 1 out of 3, which isn't bad. But when you're up against someone who gets 3 in a row, no, he's crazy talented. Yeah, so fair play to him. I'm going to keep an eye on him with Hibs. He came on against Rangers, didn't come on during the week when the bet, I don't know who the bet 3-2. But yeah, best luck to Owen Elding anyway. Good to see him going across the win. If the way he's going, or the way he was going with Sligo, if he keeps doing that, he won't be far off a call up then as well. Good to see Johnny Kenny as well going to Bolton as well to get more regular game time as well in the lead up to these World Cup qualifiers then as well. Michael Duffy, I had Michael Duffy in the League of Ireland fantasy last year. To be fair, he did well. He's a Derry lad, isn't he? I'm nearly sure, or is he? Maybe I'm chatting muck, but I think he is. Is it worth to buy Rodgers or Sarr for Garner or Cunha, or should I just roll? Is it worth to buy Rodgers or Sarr for Garner? No, roll there, all good there. Bring in Rice for Gravenberch, Divya, do that, yes. Eldin played at the weekend versus Rangers, he did indeed. Captain Gabriel over Bruno. Bruno captain this week, Gabriel captain next week. Connor Cronin and the Shaq Connor, hope all is well, man. Raya, Gabriel, Anderson, Richards, Bruno, Rice, Rodgers, Enzo, Wilson, Halland, Ekatika, benches of Dubravka, Alderete, O'Reilly. Gabriel, Anderson, Richards. If you can do, you only have 0.5 in the bank. I was going to say you could do O'Reilly to Chalaba, but you can't do that. Raya, Gabriel, Anderson, Richards, Bruno, Rice, Rodgers, Rice, 2 Rices. Enzo, Wilson, Halland, Ekatika, you're good to go on you. You're well set up this week. Saka to Rice, Dorgu to Gabriel for a -4. I probably would, get Gabriel in the team. Get that done. Should be in ages ago, Gabriel. I don't know how you've gone this while without having Gabriel in the team, so get that done. Right, 23 minutes to go until the deadline. Keep the likes coming on the stream then as well. We're nearly on 80 likes, and we're nearly on 8,860 subs. So if you are watching and you haven't clicked subscribe, please do. As I said, we're on the road to 9k subs, trying to get there by the end of the month. So yeah, if you wouldn't mind, just go down there, click and subscribe if you haven't done so already. Keep Watkins if you don't have if you have Watkins, get rid of him. Start Kruby Jr. or Dewsbury Hall. Kruby Jr. probably would start him. Do I bring in Joe Pedro for Thiago for a -4? No. 2 Rice is the play, definitely. Alexander, here, given that I have Wilson, would you start Pickford or Dubravka? Probably would still start Pickford for the chance of some save points, but Pickford anyway, yeah. I still Bruno captain there. Yeah, all good there. Will be a last minute decision. John, fair enough. Ryan there, who's the best captain out of Bruno, Haaland and JP? Bruno. What's your thoughts on my lineup? Bruno Fernandes or Pedro captain there? Lineup is good to go. João Pedro, Haaland, Ekitike, Wilson, Rice, Bruno Fernandes, Enzo, Chalobah, Tarkowski, Raya and Gabriel. All good there. Ross Plunkett, Senesi or Goodmunson? Senesi. Daddy Mish, Cucurella, Timber, Cash, Gabriel, who to bench in a 3-man defence? Rice, Wilson, Enzo, Mbeumo, Semenyo mid and Haaland Bowen attack. Robbie on the bench. Who to bench in a 3-man defence? Cash out of those. All good there. Are you going to watch the Super Bowl, Saw Doctor? I'm not. I actually am. I was meant to go to Dublin on Sunday evening to one of the lads for his 30th. Bad form. I can't go now because I have to go to Dublin with work on Tuesday. So no, but I won't bother with it. No. Nice. Wow. Okay. Good stuff. No. Is it the Patriots? It's the Patriots in the final, no, in the Super Bowl. I think Owen O'Neill could do Ekitike and Gravenberch to DCL, Krupian and Mbeumo. This would be instead of Anderson. If it's for free, I don't know. I think I'd nearly keep Ekitike, given off the you still want a bit of that Liverpool attack, so I'd leave it in there. I've Shirky and Sobosai and 2.7 in the bank. Take a hit and move on up, and who if so, or leave. Shirky to Enzo if you haven't done so already. Sobosai is going to be playing right back. Better chance of return from Sobosai with the DEFCON this week than an attacking return, unless it's a pile driver from a free kick. But no, I don't think Sobosai is going to be worth the money. So if you can get the Bruno Fernandes, even if it's for a hit, I probably would still do it. Get that done there for you. Right, 20 minutes to go. Keep the questions coming if you can. As I said, I'm going to have to run off to Medici Park after this. We're 2 likes off 80, which is great to see then as well, and we're 4 subs off hitting 8,860. So if you're watching and you're not subscribed, please do click subscribe. I need your help to get over the line at the end of the month, and we've a job on here then too. Grand. Play Road-on Van Dijk. Probably would still play Van Dijk. I've Enzo, Bruno, Rice currently. So right, yeah, you could nearly go for a Mbeumo maybe for a -4. Probably Cherky to Mbeumo if you can afford that. What are your own plans before the deadline? Best of luck, Antos. Appreciate that. I've made 2 moves already. So Dorgu to Chalobah and Saka to Rice is what I've gone for this week. Sets me up nicely for the double game week. I was tempted to go triple Arsenal defence. I'm leaving off that and I'm going double defence and Rice there then as well. Rice, if he wouldn't mind setting up Gabriel with a few from set pieces, that'd be grand. Or if Rice wouldn't mind scoring a few, whether that be from a set piece or whatever, I won't say no to that. That's my plans, Antos, and then we have to watch Galway hopefully win, get all 3 points against Drogheda tonight. Sakib, other than Bruno, who is another good United option, Mbeumo, Cunha, Ahmad. And Mbeumo, that he's playing up front at that number 9. Good to see him getting 90 minutes as well. Cunha was one that came off early last week, so they moved Mbeumo to the wing and Sesko up front. So probably Mbeumo is just about worth the extra money over Cunha on that basis. Shepherd's pie and mushy peas or lasagna and chips. Lasagna and chips is what I'd be going for there. You're making me hungry now, Jovial. No dinner yet, and I'll have to wait till about 10 o'clock to eat tonight now, so I'm getting hungry. Best Saka replacement, Declan Rice, number 1. Bruno Fernandes, even if you can afford Bruno Fernandes and you don't have him already. Get him into the team if you haven't done so already. Rice and then Mbeumo and Enzo Fernandez aren't bad shouts either there also. Bringing in Cucurella, a good option, or any other defender you like apart from the Arsenal lads. Chalobah, I would prefer Chalobah over Cucurella. I'm going to look at Cucurella's DEFCON because Chalobah got it in the last 5 I'm nearly sure. I hate the thing where when you're searching you have to change it to... Let's have a look at Cucurella anyway. while I'm rambling on here. Did he get DEFCON last week? No. 4, 11, 8. No. So Chalaba's the man for the DEFCON. Don't bother with that. Don't bother with that. With that left back, leave off him and go with Chalaba. He's more chance of an attacking return than Chalaba, but Chalaba's racking up the DEFCON, so no. Adam Whelan and Buemo captain. I'd leave it on Bruno if you have Bruno. Is bringing in Cucurella? Yeah, leave off that for Chalaba. Which one of Hill, Maguire and Munoz should I start? Confused here. Probably would start. I was nearly going to say Maguire, but the fact you have Munoz, maybe start Munoz there. I have a dilemma, Marco. What are we saying? I want to do O'Reilly to Timber. I want to take a -4, but not sure if Bruno Guimaraes to Enzo or Watkins to Pedro is better. Probably Watkins to Pedro this week, to be honest with you. I'd go with that. Leave off that there. So keep going to Shirky to Mbeumo and lock in. Good man. Get that done. Saka to Semenyo, Palmer or Wirtz. Already have Bruno, Rice, Enzo and Mbeumo. Saka to Semenyo. Out of those, yeah. Palmer still not 100% fit. Leave off that. No, go with that. Right, 16 minutes to go until the deadline. All good there. We've had about 50 people watching us. Keep the questions coming if you can at all. I know it's a quietish stream with the fact we've already done our moves, but keep the questions coming if you can. Maybe I'm gonna get this set up as is. Grand. All good there. Nice one. Nice one. Grand. Double game week style then. Right, if you're not captain in Bruno, Gabriel is the leader there. 40% on Gabriel. 177 votes, which is great to see. But yeah, that's what we're going for this week. How's the grind now, Javier? Still not hectic, I won't lie. I kicked that ball enough of times to trying to curl it in then as well. It was kind of shooting against the wind then too, which didn't help. But yeah, I need to start stretching before I go out filming captaincy videos. Easily could have done damage there the amount of times you're doing that action then as well. And that took about 20 goals, I'd say, to get that clip. But sure, look, we got it in the end. Very tough score. If you want to go over to Instagram, if you don't know what I do on Instagram, I do a football shot every week. Kind of way of just saying who I'm captaining. But that was a tough one this week. This week definitely it was. But yeah, I'm gonna have to stretch the next time before I go out. I'm going to so you have a busy evening this evening. Galway United game, filming a vlog, have to edit the vlog, get that ready for tomorrow morning. Then go to Castlebar, going to Jamie McIntyre in Castlebar tomorrow. Then try to get back to Galway to film another captaincy video before Liverpool and Man City, and then just chill, watch Liverpool and Man City, and yeah, that should be it then. Is there a Monday night game? No, there's not. Yeah, try to watch Liverpool and Man City then. But yeah, we'll see how we go. Tempted with Palmer captain. Bruno is a safe choice. Is Owen and Palmer enough of a differential? Palmer is enough of a differential. Yeah, don't bother with him. He do well to play 90 minutes against Wolves. Rosenier hasn't been that helpful given his minutes, so no, I wouldn't bother with that. Darren Kane, the chat, come on, Darren. That was you, Darren. Sorry, no, I'd leave Palmer as a differential. No. Got a bit of a eureka moment there when I saw your profile pic there. I didn't realise that was you. But yeah, leave it on Bruno. Palmer's enough of a differential as is. Captain choice: Enzo, João Pedro, Haaland or Gabriel. Out of those, maybe Gabriel, or maybe just leave it on Haaland. Probably Haaland, to be fair, to be honest with you. Bench Wilson or Krupi. I'd play Wilson just. You totally against Wirtz. You two, man, all good. You two, bud. Grand. Word also moving Semenyo to Bruno or for a free or save it. Get him in. Grand. You totally against Wirtz. Mbeumo better. Yeah. Mbeumo. Grand. Rest of the team okay. Looks good. All good there. Do I start Krupi over anyone? No. I am over Rodgers. It was very tight. Would you risk captain Gabriel? Leave on Bruno. Life of Sophia, Raya, Gabriel, Chalaba. Sorry, for FPL draft, would you start Hall or Maguire? Probably Maguire there, to be honest with you. Spurs are poor. Life of Sophia, Raya, Gabriel, Chalaba, Munoz, Wilson, Bruno, Rice, Enzo, Evan Nielsen, Haaland, DCL. Benches, Senesi, Rodgers, Mukalele. Move Rodgers first, sub in case. Yeah, you have 3, 3, 4, 3. Would you start Wilson over Rodgers? Maybe just. I can see Rodgers getting something, but it's hard to fit everyone in there, so maybe leave it off. Start DCL or Thiago. Odds on Calafiori starting. He doesn't start and risk. He doesn't, I know. Owen, prioritise getting Saliba or Gabriel. Even Saliba over Timber, to be honest with you, just. But I'd start Thiago just. I'd try and start DCL if you can. Let me know the rest of your team there, but surely you can start the two of them. Who is a better pick from Gameweek 27 to Gameweek 26 to 31? Rodgers or Saliba? You obviously have the double game week for Saliba, so you have to counter that. And then also Rodgers, let's have a look at his fixtures. Brighton, Leeds at home, Wolves. I think you need Rodgers for those games. Try and get the two if you can, but you need Rodgers for those. Start DCL, all good there. Marco, thanks for the earlier answer. Would you start Keane or Senesi? Keane just, but there's a chance he mightn't start. Also, any news on Bruno Guimaraes starting? Bruno Guimaraes should be okay. Otherwise, I have to start Lafy, whoever I don't start between Keane or Senesi. Bruno Guimaraes started in your team there. It sounds like he's going to start. When Alex Ferguson was over Man United, he played his second team in the League Cup, and now Arteta thinks he won the Champions League after getting to the final. Yeah, that was crazy after the final whistle there. I think there was a pitch invasion, was there? Or some sort of pitch invasion. When they bet Chelsea, if I'm right in saying that. Maybe I'm not, but I think there was. But Shub, go with Rodgers. He's a better one. Who's a better pick, Rodgers or Saliba? Rodgers there, yeah. Dan Dardies, do a transfer out Tarkowski for Timber. Do a bench Anderson at home to Everton or bench Van Dijk at home to City. Keep up the good work. All with 2-0 tonight. Here's hoping. Tarkowski for Timber. Do a bench Anderson at home to Everton or bench Van Dijk at home to City. Start Van Dijk. He's either going to get DEFCON or something from a corner, so I'd say start Van Dijk there. And Tarkowski to Timber's fine. You want it for the double game week. Get yourself sorted for the double game week. Go with that. Right, 10-minute warning. 56 still watching us, which is great to see. If you are watching and you haven't subscribed, please do consider hitting subscribe on the channel. We're trying to get to 9k subs before the end of the month. We have about 150-ish to go. So if you are one of the 56 who's watching and hasn't clicked subscribe, please do click subscribe and help us out. Start for Bruggen or Kelleher out of those. Play Rodon or Van Dijk. I know Rodon has a good chance of an attack and return. Also, Van Dijk probably a better chance of some DEFCON and still a good chance of getting something from a corner. Remember, he had a goal disallowed in the previous fixture of this earlier on the season then as well. Crack era, Mike Connon, how's all? Start Senesi or Munoz? I'm leaning Senesi. Just feels weird to be constant benching Munoz as he's such an expensive asset. Probably would still start Munoz. Can see Villa getting something in that game. Go with Munoz. Can probably see both of them conceding, Palace and Bournemouth. Always chance of Munoz gets something attacking wise, so go with that there. And especially if you're paying that much for him, you shouldn't be benching him. My app has crashed. Hope Cherkington Wemo transfer has gone through. You have 9 minutes to get it done, so keep any. Bench one Anderson, Rodgers or Chalaba. Anderson out of those. Is it a good idea to sell Semenyo and swap for Rodgers? Probably not. You can probably keep Semenyo. He's got a good chance of getting something then as well. So leave off that. Croupier, Rodgers. I'm changing to Rodgers now, actually. That was you, Michael, that messaged me there. You have to change my mind. Go with Rodgers. Right, 8 minutes to go. Keep the questions coming if you can. I have bench boost, okay. I have Dubravka, Esteve, Roden and Wilson. Not an ideal bench boost. Probably would leave it off that week looking at that at those there. Right, 8 minutes to go. Nearly on 90 likes on the stream then as well. We're 5 off that. Go down and give the stream a like if you wouldn't mind. That'd be very much appreciated. Let's try and get to 90. 7-minute warning as well. We're back on track then as well. Just looking at my previous scores over the last couple of weeks. We went down to, what was it? Let me just get this up. We went down to Gameweek history here. We went down to 156k. So we were 13k. And then in the space of 5 weeks, we dropped to 56k, so about where we are at the moment. And then in the space of 4 weeks, we dropped to 156k. And in the space of the last 2 weeks, we've had good green arrows, so we're now 53k. So fingers crossed for a green arrow this week also. Right, all good there. Anything else? Send it in. I'm just going to mess around with this then before we go. Nice one, grand. We're going to get this ready to go actually then as well for Twitter. 6 minutes as well. As I said, if you haven't liked the stream, go down, give the stream a like, and click subscribe if you're sound then too. I'd bench boost, I'd do a start Wilson or Thiago away to Newcastle. Thiago out of those. I'd still think Wilson, sure you can fit Wilson in as well, don't know. But I'd start Thiago with penalties. Let me know if that's okay, man. Massive D. Gameweek 25 team locked in. Well in, Niall, good luck this week, sending, appreciate that, man. Tarkowski to Senesi, no. Start Tarkowski this week. Chance of some DEFCON there, so leave that off. What did I do there? Dorgu plus Saka to Chalobah plus Rice. Grand. Tarkowski to Senesi, no, don't do that. Bruno, Cap. Leeds or Forest for last man standing, saw Doctor. Probably Leeds with the fact they're home. I've got Fulham myself. I'm down to the last 3, and we're all going different this week. So there's probably going to be a winner in it this week. So let's see how we go. I have Mbeumo, Enzo, Wirtz and Fernandes, so he's only... Joe Casey, hi Niall, come on Galway United. If you're there tonight, Joe, come up and say hello to us. I'm going to have to rush over to the ground after this. Esteve or Mukulele to start? Mukulele to start. Go with that. Right, maybe I should start packing up here. Option, really don't want to bench Evan Nielsen. What was the question before that, Massive D? You don't want to bench Evan Nielsen. I nearly would, and start Rodgers and Wilson over him. Mario, what's the crack, Mario? Well, Niall, start Tarkowski or Anderson, the only dilemma. Leaning towards Anderson, start him at home, yeah, go with that. Fernandes captain or Pedro? Has to be Fernandes. 215 votes on if you don't have Bruno, who do captain? Gabriel. Alright, good stuff. You reckon we're putting too much faith in Bruno Fernandes for captain? Spurs could be a tricky fixture. Pedro or Gabriel might be stronger picks. I don't think so. United look a lot better. Bruno's pulling the strings. So no, I wouldn't do that. Right, 4 minutes to go. Anderson or Thiago? Anderson this week for sure. That's my team. How we're going this week. Let's just scroll up a small bit more. I've got Mukulele on the bench. Feels wrong benching him, but he does have that Arsenal game, so that's why we're benching him. I think I'm going to go with the Bravco over Donnarumma and Johnny. I agree with you. Go for it. 3 minutes to go into the deadline. We still have about 50 people or so in the chat. Do I charge the phone up? No point charging the phone for 3 minutes. 1 like off 90. If you're one of them, get liking that stream there. Captain Mbeumo or Haaland, don't have Bruno. Probably Mbeumo. Go with Mbeumo. 3 minutes to go. I'm just gonna get these two posted here then as well. Done. And done. Bruno captain. Make sure Bruno is captain. Imagine if we mess that up there then as well. Right, Bruno Fernandes captain. All good there. Want to chase rank him in 1.8 million to stash to cash and Rice to Maguire. Nothing wrong with those. Captain in Buemo if you don't have him. If you don't have Bruno, sorry. Go with that. Keane or O'Reilly to start. Keane. Not much chance of O'Reilly getting DEFCON. So no, go with Keane over that there. Right, 2 minutes to go. Why aren't they coming up there? Right, 2 minutes on the clock. I'm absolutely starving as well, but I'm having to rush over here and get to the goal again now. Right, 1 minute to go to the deadline. Before we do drop off, I'm gonna one last reminder: we're one sub off hitting 8,860. It'd be great to hit that before the end of the stream, and click like on the stream before we do drop off. That's another 2 hours done, 2 hours clocked in then as well. Appreciate the few new likes there then as well, which is great to see. And yeah, that's going to be another deadline stream there done. Get your teams locked in. That's where I'm ending up. 2 free transfers. Bruno captain there. Start DCL or Wilson. DCL just. Try and start Wilson if you can. Van Dijk or Thiago. And that should be another deadline stream out of the way there. Right, good stuff. All good there. Nice one. Grand. Right, time to get over to Eamon DC Park for the first League of Ireland game of the season. Let's see how we go there. Right, I'm going to have to lock up here then. It's very dark outside. We'll leave it there. So, thanks for watching. Best of luck for the week. The deadline is gone. Super Drug, appreciate your effort as always. Appreciate you tuning in. Love that. We'll leave it there. So, best of luck for the week. Hopefully another green arrow on the way. We'll see you in the next one. Era Boo and Galway United Boo tonight. We'll see you next week.